From secondary sources, we are given hindsight into the future. Hindsight, after all, is caused by a lack of foresight. These are college kids, by the way. A young man wrote, "The history of the Jewish people begins with Abraham, Isaac, and their 12 children." Judaism had one big god named Yahoo. Old Testament prophets include Moses, Amy, and Confucius. Moses was told by Jesus to lead the people out of Egypt. The book of Exodus describes his trip and the amazing things that happened in it, including the 10 Commandments, various special effects, and the building of the Suez Canal. 40 centuries later, they arrived in Canada, the promised land of milk and chocolate. Eventually, Christians started a new religion with sayings like, "The mice shall inherit the earth." Later, Christians fortunately abandoned that idea. Now, the professor mentioned that some of the challenges the students were going through were things like incomplete note-taking, paying half attention in class, last-minute cramming, and way too much reliance on spell check. Along with the overwhelming material they had to take in, they just got a little confused at times. You see how important and powerful our choice of words are. We can change history with one word. The mice shall inherit the earth. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote, "Every idea originating in God's mind is expressed through our mind. Your thought, that idea, is brought into the outer and expressed in the word, in the spoken word. Your words, my words, are vehicles for the expression of what God is giving us for our lives, in impulses, as divine ideas that pop into our mind all of a sudden. These move out into our world when we speak them, when we talk about them, when we tell the world, when we tell ourselves, this is the truth of my life. For example, if I get an idea for a new career or a new financial good in my world, I speak it, I declare, I affirm, this is my truth. So let's say God gave you a wonderful idea for a bed and breakfast for dogs. Like, oh, all of a sudden you wake up, I have a wonderful idea. Let's call it the doghouse. That divine idea is spoken into the outer as I am grateful for the unfolding good that the doghouse is in my life. God is bringing into my life those who would be a blessing to me as I co-created with divine love, with intelligence, with wisdom, and with joy. I have absolute faith that God is giving me instruction today and every day in how to bring this holy endeavor into my physical world. It is a blessing to me, my clients, and their holy and precious animals. As a powerful child of God, I now joyfully and gratefully command it to come forth into my world. Now, it is done. Amen. Now, would you have any doubts, using those words, that the universe would not bring the doghouse forth? Divine law says that which we declare, decree, command, affirm, and state with joy, thanksgiving, faith, and absolute conviction has to show up. The divine law says, as explained in the book of Job, you shall decree a thing, and it will be established for you. You shall decree it, you shall say it, you should speak it plainly, and it will show up. Now, there's no fine print here. You ever get a Macy's coupon? 20% off, except for 300 areas where you can't have 20% off. The book of Job is saying there is no fine print. You say it and you have it. You affirm it and you own it. Our great teacher and brother Jesus said it a little plainer. Up until now, you haven't asked for anything. Ask, and you shall have it. Ask believing, and you shall receive. But I hear you say, because I'm psychic, I hear you say in your mind, But I have asked a lot. I keep asking over and over and over again. I've been affirming this ever since I've been coming to Unity. I know you've decreed till you're blue in the face, haven't you? And maybe it hasn't appeared yet. And yet you keep affirming it. We all know the frustration of asking and not receiving, of decreeing and not seeing, of demanding and not hearing back, affirming and not getting what we desire. Sometimes we think, I'm doing everything I can. I listen to this guy in front of me yammering on for half an hour on Sunday morning. I come to the class, I read the books, and still, it isn't showing up the way that I'm told it should. You shared with me all the times I've gotten up on Sunday morning. I've donated money to God's work. I've volunteered some time to the ministry. I've gone to the classes, and I really got it. I understand what's being said. What I don't understand is why it doesn't show up. My dreams, my goals, the divine ideas I thought were from God are missing in action. Now what? Well, believe me, there isn't anybody here who hasn't gone through this. And it doesn't matter what the challenge is. Whether it's finding a great mate here in D.C. I've heard from a number of people here, this is a really hard town to meet people. Want to affirm that with me? This is no, of course you don't want to affirm that. Oh, it's real hard to get an affordable home here. Oh, did you find an apartment? Yeah, I did. How much? Oh, it's a really good rate. You did? How did that happen? I led an artist group in New York, and some guy moved from Ohio, one of those states out there. And he said, I need an apartment, and I affirm I'm going to get an apartment for $500, and everybody cracked up. I said, why? He said, you can't get an apartment for $500. And I said, if he affirms $500, he's going to get that apartment. He came back a week later, and was like, I got my apartment for $500. I said, how did you do that? He said, because I said so. Because we say so. The universe hears, and your $500 apartment will show up when it doesn't for anybody else, because they said it's not available. Finding peace of mind in a dysfunctional family setting. Getting your career going. Finally getting rid of the pain, whether it's physical or emotional. Once and for all is the goal that we're looking to have, and depending on what we're saying, what we believe, what we're holding, it can show up or not. Well, there is a way of bringing whatever you desire into your life. There is a surefire way of doing this. Here's a secret I'm going to share with you, and I just heard a little bit from that guy at the artist group. The secret to revealing all the good that God has waiting for you is to get off your big butt. B-U-T, not B-U-T-T. Butt. Get your big butt out of the way. What do I mean by that? If we don't fully live in divine law of speaking the truth of abundance, of success, of healing, of financial family harmony by saying with conviction, my doggy B&B is coming, but I don't have any money for it. Or my healing is happening, but this magazine says that the cure rate is under 10%. I wish my family could be closer, but my husband's an idiot. My son's a loser, and my daughter never listens to me, and don't talk about that. What is being said may be considered to be the facts of the matter, but it isn't the truth of God. Facts change. They always change. Truth is truth is truth. Whenever we finish a divine statement with, however, but, although, or if, just to name a few, we are powerfully neutralizing the holy impulse, the divine idea that preceded it. We have neutralized the good we just affirmed. We are the powerful spiritual beings, and if we alter a sacred affirmation with a coda or an addendum that is contrary to the truth we just affirmed, God is not going to get in the way of what you called forth with your and my words of negation. We are negating the very thing that we have been asking for. I desire the right and perfect partner. The right and perfect partner is waiting for me. but I'm so ugly, stupid, and or boring, who would want me? You think I'm making this stuff up? I'm not. I've heard this over and over again for the 30 years I've been doing this work. I desire a perfect apartment in Georgetown, but who can afford it there? Oh my God, have you seen the prices? I wish I could feel peaceful living here in D.C., but with all the news of you-know-who, and shootings everywhere, and firings, and prices rising, I just can't take it anymore. But I love this town. What are we saying? What are we saying? You see what we do to sabotage our good? We don't mean to do that, but we're powerful, and every word we speak is a prayer request to the universe. We don't mean to keep our dreams and our desires away, but we erect a huge wall of separation from the good that God has waiting for us simply by not agreeing with that God idea fully. The answer to this challenge of cutting off our success or healing or prosperity or Hamilton tickets, if it ever comes here, peace and joy, anything that we've ever desired, truly wanted in our lives, is to stop talking. Shut up. Quit talking before you fall on your butt. B-U-T. But it could be the other butt too, B-U-T-T. I'll stop saying butt now. So, falling on our whatever. You don't want to do this. Stop saying what you don't want. Just stop saying what you don't want. Quit talking after the truth has been spoken. I am a success in my life. God is my joy, my enthusiasm. I cannot fail at doing what I love to do, period. Full stop. I am healed in mind and body completely. God is the healing energy within me now, cleansing, renewing, restoring, and revitalizing every square inch of my being. Don't say anything after that. My family is loving and gentle and happy. My husband is intelligent. My son is a winner. My daughter and I have perfect communication. And the cat is charming. Period. And that's the truth, as we share every day, every Sunday after the service. Now you might say, well, that's wishful thinking. I would like my husband to be wise and my kids to be successful and loving, but it just isn't true. There's that but again. We don't affirm something to make it true. It's already truth in God's mind. We affirm and declare the truth because it is the reality of God at our core. We keep affirming and knowing the truth as it begins to show up. We change our belief system, and there it is. If you want your family to be loving, see them as loving. Treat them that way, speak loving, positive words, and eventually it will work. As we say in unity, don't set it right, see it right. See it the way it is in truth, not the way the facts are presenting themselves. If you want to be healed, only see wholeness as your option, as inevitable. Speak only words of health to your body. Know that God is stronger than any disease, no matter what the appearance that is currently showing itself as. Jesus didn't say to the woman bleeding for 12 years, your faith has made you whole, but don't expect too much afterwards. What I did will hold till the evening, but after that, you're on your own. But, oh my God, 12 years? I don't think I can do anything with that. 12 years? Ooh, that's a long time. Did he say that? He said, daughter, your faith has made you whole. That was it. Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore refused to see tuberculosis as a permanent condition. She praised her body as strong and well, even when she didn't feel it that day. She affirmed that she was growing healthier every day. She told her lungs, you are healthy, you're pink, you're strong. You are completely disease-free, and within 2 years, she was totally healed. No words of negation concerning her healing was allowed into her consciousness. We don't follow through, though. We don't follow through. This is the challenge. Not only with our words, but in our lives. We don't follow through with the truth that we know. We convince ourselves that we can't possibly see how that's going to happen. So we let the buts get in the way. Because I don't see it with my eyes, because I don't hear it with my ears, doesn't mean it's not true. As a child, Sylvester Stallone was beaten every day by his father, was told, "You have no brains, you're the stupidest kid that ever lived." In college, he was told by his advisor that he should pursue a career as an elevator repairman. But he wanted to act. That was his dream. With every fiber of his being, this is what he wanted to do. Unfortunately, his negative training at home and in college gave him a lot of big butts to contend with. He never gave up on his dream, though, even though it didn't seem to be coming into expression in the way that he thought it was going to. One evening, he went to see a boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. Watching Wepner hang in there and going the distance, Stallone received an idea that it just kind of popped all at once into his mind. And it was revealed to him what his next step was. He finished the screenplay for Rocky in 3.5 days. It flew out of him. He couldn't write quick enough. By not giving up and staying on his butt, Stallone allowed his dream to become the reality that we have 59 Rocky movies, or however many we've got. A writer once said, you are so made that whatever fires your soul, impossibilities vanish. Whatever fires your soul, whatever gets you going, anything to the contrary disappears because it is not the truth of who you are. I don't accept any limited notion that this ministry cannot grow. I don't. I refuse to see that we are not 500 people here on a Sunday. I see this. I want you to see this place become the full expression of what we are called here on the planet to do as a Unity Center. No ifs, ands, or buts are allowed. At the town meeting, if you have something to share, you must put it in a creative response. No negativity is going to be allowed there. If you speak negatively, you sit in the corner. Until Kathy says you can come back. I'm putting you on the board president here, yes. But we are here to uplift and to be the wonderful center that we already are in spirit, but now we're calling forth. No ifs, ands, or buts allowed. Jesus, as quoted in the book of Revelation, says, I know your works. You're neither cold nor hot. Would that you would be cold or hot. Because you're lukewarm and not cold or hot, I will spew you from my mouth. Ew. That's kind of gross. But what does it mean? It just sounds very unlike Jesus, quite frankly. What they're saying here is that we're sitting on our butts, either meaning way too much. How committed, how passionate are you about your healing? About your own success? About your relationships? About this Unity Center? About the things that you find joy in? How good do you want it? Not how bad do you want it, how good do you want this? How passionate are you about the life that is waiting for you to say yes to? The painter Georgia O'Keeffe spent 6 months a year in Santa Fe in the desert by herself. She said, so I could see the colors better. She was so committed to her art. She just spent that long getting the physical part out of the way. More than 20 years in jail couldn't keep Nelson Mandela from his dream for all people in his country. For the country to be healed of the cancer of apartheid. Follow through and let your heart lead the way. It took 20 years, more. But you cannot fail with God at work, revealing, keep going. In Alberta, Canada, a few years ago, a woman named Colleen had given up her daughter 18 years before. It was on her birthday that she had the girl popped into her mind. Through the years, she wondered what her daughter looked like. Did she look like her? Was she happy? Was she healthy? All of a sudden, this idea came to her mind. Although she lived in a town hundreds of miles away, why not place a newspaper ad in the town that she gave birth to her daughter? She felt a real surge of joy and excitement as she found the classified ad for the newspaper. When the ad saleswoman answered the phone, Colleen's big butt almost got in the way. Oh, it's a long shot. She may not live there. She may not want to see me. This is crazy. What am I doing? But. She went to hang up the phone, but her gut said, don't do that. Do not hang up. She took a breath and she did what her heart was telling her to do. A couple of hours later, Colleen received a phone call from the editor of the newspaper and told her that earlier that day, he got a call from somebody named Jody, who didn't even live in Alberta. All Jody knew was that she was born somewhere in Alberta, and she wanted to place an ad asking if anyone knew her birth mother in that town. The editor saw Colleen's ad and thought, this is way too coincidental. It turned out they were a mother and daughter, and they had a wonderful reunion. In Unity, we call that divine coincidence. Colleen would have missed meeting her daughter, perhaps forever, if she let those butts get in the way. She was about to hang up, and Spirit said, do not hang up, keep going. So what is God calling you to do? For all the good you've been longing for to come into your life, what negative words are you following your joy words with? Your healing is happening. Your success is happening. Your right mate is appearing. Your financial affairs are coming into perfect order. Your life is happy, peaceful, and joyful as we look beyond what appears to be lack, limitation, and failure. There is no failure. Failure means I just gave up on the divine idea because I don't think God knows what God's doing. That's all. Hang on to the truth that God is revealing to you in your dreams, in your desires, in your imaginations, in your longings. Get off your butts. Know the truth with me. My word is powerful. Together. My word is powerful. It goes out to work for me. It goes out. Oh my God. Have I been standing here doing a marathon? My word goes forward to work. You need to bump the joy up a little bit. I need to bump the joy up a little bit. We all need to bump the joy up because without joy, we're not drawing forward, right? So we're going to do this again. The director and me loves to. My word is powerful.
My word is powerful.
It goes out to work for me.
It goes out to work for me.
I am created to be healthy.
I am created to be healthy.
I am created to be successful.
I am created to be successful.
I am created to be creative.
I am created to be creative.
I am created to have fun.
I am created to have fun.
We need to do that one again. I am created to have fun.
I am created to have fun.
I am created to help others.
I am created to help others.
I am created to be joyful.
I am created to be joyful.
Take a breath. Do you feel that waking you up? We need to do this every day. We get into this inertia. We think that being spiritual is about being really quiet and turning off all the energy. It isn't. It's about bumping the energy up. Our great teacher said, I've come that you may have life, and life abundantly. Those are joy, those are action words. And yet we go, yeah, that's nice. Oh. And then we fall asleep, we start drooling on our shirts. It's not very pretty. We need to bump it up. Get your joy going. If we become this joyful place, we're going to fill this place. We are filling this place. We need to be joyful and grateful first. Breathe in. Breathe out. Close your eyes. As we take this all into spirit, we sing our meditation song, My Thoughts Are Prayers. Most of us know it. If you don't, the words are on the wall behind me. In the quiet of your being, in the quiet of your heart, get excited. Remember being 4 years old on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve? We couldn't wait for the good to show up. Get that excited about your good showing up today. Get excited about your health. Get excited about life. Get excited about your career. Get excited about retirement if that's where you are. Get excited about your good finally showing up in the way that you desire it. Quietly affirm this: I command strength to flow through me now. I command prosperity to flow into my life fully, freely, unimpeded. I command love and harmony to bless me and others in my life. I command this unity center to be overflowing with joyful truth students, hungry to hear the truth, and to let that truth flow forth. I command the power of joy radiate from me now. I command and accept all the good that God has for me now. Breathe in and let go. Let go of but, let go of however, let go of if only. There's only one power, one presence, one life, one love, God the good. Feel it, accept it, rejoice in this truth. I invite you to focus on your body. Breathe into your body the love, light, life, and joy of God. You are healed. Wholeness is your right. The wholeness of God is in every single atom and molecule of your being. I now gratefully call it forth. Breathe light and life into any area that may be uncomfortable or painful or aching. See the power of God already there. We are so joyful for this realization. I am successful and I am prospered beyond my wildest dreams. If life were perfect for you right now, what would that look like? If there were no worry about finances, or logistics, or any other seeming challenge, what would your life look like? This is the life that God has waiting for you. Breathe it in, and know that how is not up to me. How is not up to me. God's got this. Quietly know God is doing God's work perfectly, fully, astonishingly. In the quiet of our being, just for a few moments, all it takes is one brief moment in quiet to know the truth. gentle breath. Breathe out. Take another breath. Bring yourself into this room, this time, this place. Keep breathing. Feel the awakening, the light, the love, the joy of God fully at work from head to toe. I invite you to join me as we come back into this place by singing, "The greatest thing in all my life is loving you." The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. I want to love you more. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. Now Michael's going to come up and share our offertory.